Okay, folks, listen, this is like my favorite time, right? It's summertime. You know, I love coming from the spring to the summer. Why? Because we get to make dishes like this. Today, I'm gonna show you how to make this. Listen, I'm not finna try to sell this as nothing like way over the top, but it is though. This right here gets you in the game. I take this, which is gonna be a Southern style macaroni salad, and I take potato salad, and I watch everybody just fight over it. So let's get it, folks. Now, I'm gonna pan over these ingredients so you guys can see it's not a whole lot to it. Only thing we gotta do is really get our pasta, right? I got the ingredients for you to make this Southern style pasta. You know what I mean? This is gonna be fire. And don't forget, the full ingredient list is on my website. That's Smokin and Grillin with AB.com, and that's WITAB.com. Now, I want you guys to pay attention to this right here. You have options, right? This says salad macaroni, but look at the size and the cut on it, right? And then, you know, of course, we got regular elbow macaroni. Listen, you do have a choice of which one you're gonna use, but today, I'm gonna be using that one right there. So let's go ahead and get it started. All right, so listen, we're gonna do something a little bit more, you know, a little different. A lot of times when I'm making pastas, you know what I mean? I always do it al dente, but we're gonna cook these and let these be, you know, fully cooked, right? So again, I'm using the macaroni salad. We go ahead and add this. And what you saw me putting in was really, that was just salt. I add that to my water. All right, so once your pasta is ready, per the instructions on your box, right? What we're gonna do is, now that I got it in there, I'm finna shock it with some cold water because I wanna stop that, you know, process, that cooking process, right? So we'll do this, we'll let it cool, let it dry, and then we're gonna toss it with just a little bit of that extra virgin olive oil. Okay, so what I'm getting ready to do now is we wanna cut our, you know, our celery down, right? Now, this right here is key. For those of you guys that have potato salad, you know what I mean, and macaroni salad, and you guys think about the crunch, to me, that's what makes it, right? So I don't like to get no big pieces, right? So I just run my sharp part of my knife right down like one side of it, right? And then what I do is I divide each stalk into threes, you know? Now, when you guys go to my website and you're looking at the recipe, it's gonna say 2 stalks. A reason I got 3 right here, you know what I mean? I like to have a little bit of celery, right? So I'm gonna just leave it like this. Then I want you to pay attention. Remember, it's about the texture. We still wanna have some of that crunch, right? But we don't want a whole lot. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it down like that. Then I look at it. You see that right there? That's all I need. That's the size. So we'll just go ahead and replicate that and just keep going. You only need about 1 cup. That'll probably do right for everybody. Okay, so now we're gonna do the exact same thing, you know, with our onion, right? We're gonna cut this down, you know, and then dice it, right? So what I do is I just cut them down this way. You guys cut them down any kind of way you would like. You know what I mean? You can run it. Sometimes I run it down like this. Just go halfway, right? You want to make each layer not as thick. And then we just cut this down because the objective is to get some red onion, but not to have all of those big chunks. You know, we want it to be diced right. You see the way it's shredding like that? That's good. Now, you don't need no whole lot of onion. Okay, so look, we got our celery, we got our onions done. The only thing we got to do now is really just get our, we got to do our eggs, but I want to show you guys a little bit of a pro tip, you know what I mean? Now, this is extra virgin olive oil made by Branch and Vine. This is garlic flavor, right? So I'm going to put just a little bit over here like this. I normally don't do this. I tell everybody don't put butter or nothing like that, especially when you're making pastas that have cheese sauces, right? But here, we just want to go ahead and just coat these just like you see what I'm doing. It doesn't take a whole lot. And I did over what I need because I'd rather have more pasta than not enough, right? So you want to get that balance right. So we got this here. Now I'm gonna come over here. And then this is the bowl we're gonna make the whole salad in and display it in, right? So now I'm just gonna add a little bit of this here, like this, about 1 cup of what it should have been, right? So that's good right there. We'll leave that there. All right, so now what we wanna do is we just wanna take our eggs, right? And we'll, you know, just peel them. I'm actually finna move this process over there too. I like to run water over them. It make it easier when I peel, right? So let me go ahead and do that. All you wanna do is peel these. And then when I'm done with that, then I'll show you. Because what we're gonna do is separate the yolk, you know, from the white. Okay, so this is how we're gonna go ahead and do this, right? So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna cut this down, right? When I cut it, you see how my yolk does? I just drop it in here, right? And I'm gonna keep the white part because the white part gonna go inside. Right, so now I'm gonna bring this over here just so you guys can see how I have that. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this down. I'm gonna do it like my grandmama did. This is not the right way to do it, folks. You know, you wanna be safe, but this is the way I was raised. I'm not saying just because I did that, I'm so familiar with this. I know the pressure to go ahead and, use. So I just cut them down like this. If you guys got a faster way, do it that way. But you just want to go ahead and put your egg whites in here just like this, right? So I'm gonna put everything on the side. It look visually good. And then we gonna mix it all up. But right now I just wanna show you exactly what I do. Okay, so you see how I got it, right? I put the egg whites right there. Now I'm getting ready to come with my celery. Now I'm gonna put it over here off to the side just so you guys can see it. You guys, eventually it's gonna get all mixed up in here with it anyway, right? So I just put it over here, just like you guys see. And then I'm gonna come with this onion. As you can see, I like that onion, right? So we get that red onion over here. All right, so look, you see how I have that? Look, I'm gonna set this off to the side now. And what I'm gonna do is everything else that you had that come from the recipe, which is on my website, folks, I gotta say it again, that's Smokin and Grillin with AB.com, and that's WITAB.com. All of this goes back. Goes inside, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and just start here. In no order, just remember it all goes in. And we come with our mayo. Vinegar, paprika, Dijon mustard. Dijon give it a nice taste, folks. You guys got to start keeping that Dijon at the house, right? And then a little bit of this milk. We can just add that all, right? So let me get it all there. Now we go ahead and just get our whisk, and then we break up them yolks. And you see that right there? Look, this right here is what's gonna tie it all together. Now I wanna make sure I get it all broken down, like this. So give me a minute. Let's just go ahead and keep incorporating everything, getting those yolks, broken down. Okay, so look, I got 2 seasonings right here, right? I got my A seasoning. This right here is doing extremely well. You guys might probably already have that. You know what? That's probably the wrong thing to say because you probably got both of these anyway. It depends on the profile that you want to get, right? But today I'm going with the Creole kick, right? So I'm gonna take the Creole kick and I'm just gonna add a little bit of this to it so we can get a little bit of that hint. All right, so now that we got our dressing ready, we tasted it, we added a pinch of salt if you guys think it needed it. I did add a pinch of salt to that. That just made that Creole kick pop. This right here is fire. Now we take this and we incorporate it, with our dressing, right? So let me get it so you guys can see it. I'm just gonna pour it in just like this. And I'm not gonna put all of it in, I'm gonna just leave it just like this for now, right? We'll put this back there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start to mix this up. All right, so now we just go ahead and fold, right? Ooh, look at that. Look at that color. Now we say Southern, you always tend to have something just because of the Southern seasonings, Creole, Cajun, anything that's Southern like that, you get that color. I don't know, I'm gonna quit talking so you guys can just hear it. Listen to that. We making macaroni salad, folks. All right, so listen, I just took a couple of pictures of it, but if you look at it right here, and hopefully you guys were able to hear it, like this is really a macaroni. Let me rephrase that. This is really a Southern macaroni salad right here, right? So I'm gonna take some of this, and put some in here, just like you guys see. Ooh, man. All right, so there it is. You guys can come in and take a look at it. I like these little wooden bowls. I think I'm gonna leave a link so you guys can pick yourselves up some. Maybe if I can find a link, I will put it out there though. Now look, this right here, I dusted it with a little bit of that paprika on the top. That's smoked paprika, by the way, right? So we'll just take this. I've already tasted, so I get to go in again. Cheers, y'all. Boy, you know what? I'm thinking right now, like, where's the ribs? You know what I mean? Where's the macaroni and cheese, to go along with the macaroni salad? Barbecue baked beans. Now, earlier I had said, listen, that onion and that celery, you asked me, that's like one of the key ingredients is in here. You know what I mean? Just to get that crunch, it's about that texture, folks. You know what I mean? And then once you get that dressing just right, you guys let me know what would you guys do after you make it? What would you add to it? Let me know down in the comment section below because I'm interested in that. You know what I mean? I know somebody gonna say this one, so I'm gonna take this away from y'all. We could always add some bacon bits Now, if you're new to this channel, let me just take this time to say thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, smash that subscribe button, and tell everybody out there there's a channel out here that's simplifying these recipes and taking the mystery out of cooking. And you know how I do. I'm out. Peace.